Welcome, everybody, to Tastewrk Gaming News. What's in the news today? Warner Brothers killed Shaggy and Scooby and Wonder Woman and Mordor and your hopes and dreams. But before we get into this, let's make sure you hit the notifications, the likes, and all that good stuff that helps keep you up to date with everything we like to discuss, video games. All right, so let's jump into it. Warner Brothers closes 3 game studios, leaving future gaming content uncertain. After some speculations and rumors, it's finally official that Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment will be closing down 3 other gaming-focused studios after a series of losses for the company. This news is just the latest in the unfortunately a trend of layoffs plaguing the industry. The 3 studios in question are Players First Games, Monolith Productions, and Warner Brothers San Diego. While Warner Brothers cites disappointing sales owing to the losses suffered, this seems to be aligned with some of the decisions that the company has made in the past few months to cut costs. It's an official statement to Kotaku. Warner Brothers confirms that these are shutdowns. This has led fans to speculate on the future gaming projects under the Warner Brother umbrella. What's going to happen? So, Wonder Woman, you're out. Sorry, babe, but you got to go. One of the unfortunate studios that is part of these closures is Monolith, which brought Lord of the Rings Shadow of Mordor series, which was a great series. I enjoyed them. Nick enjoyed them. I believe, Pat, you enjoyed them too. So, and all of their games have been well received. The Wonder Woman game has also been canceled, despite Monolith not contributing to those financial losses. This has led to some confusion over what potential ramifications could be for other studios. Players First Game Studios, the studio behind Multiverses, Shaggy, Scooby, Batman, all that, was shut down after one of the most confusing sagas in gaming history. After a confusing beta release, taking the game down for maintenance for a year, which was really weird, and then re-releasing the game before finally deciding to shut down the game. It's like they had to put Scooby down twice. Over the past few months or even years have caused some eyebrows to be raised that Warner Brothers is truly prioritizing internally. While it's unfortunate, it's logical that Player First games might not be considered a priority after the shutdown of Multiverses. However, Monolith had nothing to do with the losses garnered by titles like the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League made by Rocksteady, which is a fabulous developer who unfortunately made a shit game. In fact, Rocksteady is rumored to be returning to the Batman Arkham series, while Monolith takes the shutdown. So that's kind of odd. Warner Brothers seems to be worried about cutting costs, creating content later, as can be seen with cancellations of movies as well. And this really bothers me. So they made a Batgirl movie, completed, cut it, edit, everything, put it into a vault. It had, I don't know who played Batgirl, but it had the dude from the Mummy movie was playing Firefly, Brendan Fraser. And he said it was awesome. And I think it was a Howard Stern interview I saw. And then they made a Coyote versus Acme movie, off the old cartoon characters. And they shelved it too. I can't remember who started that one. But they're able to use those as tax deductions, which is a load of horse shit. Pardon my language if you're, innocent. So, however, with the rumored new Batman game and a sequel to Hogwarts Legacy on the way, it is more likely that Warner Brothers will take a step back and focus on a few core gaming prospects while it tries to reassess its strategy for gaming landscape. Now, Warner Brothers sucks, in my opinion. They have some great studios, though. They really do. Rocksteady is fantastic. Monolith, no problems. I didn't play more than 30 seconds of the Multiverses. It's just not my thing. But it sucks to see all these people losing their jobs because of some corporate jackwagon who thought he knew best. Live service game like Multiverses, we have said it 1,000 times. If you can make a live service game work, more power to you, but 99% fail. Unfortunately, I think you would see less of those if people could stop using that shit as tax deductions. Well, we screwed up. Give me my money back. So let's jump into this, see what these two knuckleheads think here. Nick, just because you got your sexy shirt on, let's jump over to you, buddy. What you think?
I think Pinky and the Brain finally took over.
They've been running Warner Brothers for a while, have they?
Yeah. It's been trying to take over the world. Brain has, and
the Brain died. It's all Pinky now.
It's all Pinky now. That's why they're making stupid decisions. Yeah, the Monolith or Multiverses, like, that's, again, it's live service. It's hard to get those off the ground. Multiverses had a good idea, but it was a very weird, like, beta, shut down, come back. Like, it just didn't work out for them, right? In that case. And I think the monetization didn't really help out with them either. From my understanding, I didn't play a ton of Multiverses, so I'm not one to really talk about it too much. But the one that really irks me a lot is Monolith. Monolith made Fear, which I love Fear. Fear is a great game. But also the Shadows of Mordor with the Nemesis system, which was a system that no other game has used. And Warner Brothers hasn't taken advantage of that system. Apparently that system is patented, from what I read, out to like 2036 or something like that from Warner Brothers. So like they own the rights to it. And so that more than likely will just sit on the shelf. And that's a cool system. Like, that was one of the things that made Shadows of Mordor, the two games, right? Because they had two games. That the whole Nemesis system was like one of the coolest things about that game. Besides the game being good, it was just that cool, like, if an enemy beats you, they remember you, and like, you go up through the system, the ranking system and stuff like that. And that was just a really cool system, and really, like, a lot of games could utilize that type of system. I could see something like, unfortunately, Assassin's Creed used something like that, right? They could use something like that. Like, if you fail an assassin, maybe they remember, and stuff like that. Like, that would be cool, right? And other games as well could utilize that type of system in there. And it was a really cool system that Monolith came up with. And Warner Brothers, it seems like, has just taken everything. I don't know what they're doing. Like, I really don't. Like, it feels like all these big companies, like Warner Brothers and all the other big gaming companies or production companies out there, are just looking for that kind of, like, what Pat has brought up several times. It's that little effort, maximum pay, right? And if they don't get that off the board, it's like, okay, scrap it, try again, until they get that one, right? And that's all they need. They get the one, and then they're set. And that's all they're looking for anymore. So you're getting rid of all these great companies who have made all these great IPs and these great systems and various things like that, because as a corporation, you're just trying to maximize profits, and you don't really care about your consumers or anything or even the employees or anything like that. You just care about the as long as we can put the least amount of effort into a project with the maximum amount of outcome. And even if that means shutting down other studios or getting rid of people, cutting the fat, as they say, we'll cut it as much as we want to, be damned, it doesn't matter, as long as we get what we want, right? And what we're looking for is that holy grail at the end of the, or that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow type of thing, right? And we'll kill some leprechauns to get to it, that type of thing. So that's what Warner Brothers is doing. Like, like Shane talked about, they, from my understanding, like you were saying, that the Batgirl movie was complete, like it was done. It just needed to come out, right? And it's weird to, I mean, maybe some production stuff or some editing, but it's weird to,
I'm pretty sure they finished the entire.
That's what I thought too.
Then they shelved it.
Like, the entire thing was done, like editing and everything.
And sorry to catch up, but I believe it is also part of retaining properties. You have to make it make a property you own every so often, or you lose the rights to that property. That's how. Remember the Harvey Korman Fantastic Four movie that never was released? They had to legally make that to keep the rights of the Fantastic Four.
Why go through all that? I mean, I understand that, but I mean, like, why not just release it anyway, right? If you're going to go through
make
the whole
some
process.
goddamn money off of it.
Right.
Well, I think it's because they thought they would at least get their money back as a tax deduction. And don't,
there's got to be more money.
Don't quote me on this.
There's got to be like a loophole where there's got to be more money not releasing it than releasing it, right? It doesn't make sense. Yeah,
there has to be. It would have to be.
Or something.
And comic book movies aren't what they used to be, far as, money wise. They're not hitting those numbers like they did 15 years ago when Iron Man came out, but they still do relatively well. Now, I don't know how well a Batgirl movie would have worked out. I mean, I guess it depends on how tight costume was on Brendan Fraser. I mean, I just don't know how that would have worked. I would have watched it maybe at home, but I would have watched it eventually. I watched the damn Madam Web movie, and Lord, that was an abortion on the eyes and ears. So, but anyways, please proceed. I apologize.
You should.
I feel bad.
No, I mean, that's pretty much all I had to say. I mean, I don't know what Warner Brothers is doing, but what peeves me the most is big corporations doing this to a lot of different, great companies out there, and especially on the side of Warner Brothers, all of the stupid moves they've been making. It's like they're trying to one up Ubisoft or something. I'm not sure. I think getting rid of Monolith, what is the Fear series? The Shadow. I mean, they still have Lord of the Rings, which, Warner Brothers, Gollum. I mean, that pretty much spells that out. So, what are they going to do with that? I know they're making a new Lord of the Rings MMO, from my understanding. They already have a Lord of the Rings MMO, but from my understanding, they're making a new one. Last time I heard, unless that's changed, I don't know.
Yeah, but that was Amazon, wasn't it?
Was that Amazon? That might be Amazon. I thought Warner Brothers had the.
Well, Warner Brothers has the rights, but they could have had Amazon producing.
They could have,
because they licensed Amazon to do the Lord of the Rings series. I don't know.
That's true. That's true. The Power of the Ring or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Warner Brothers did Gollum either. I don't know if they published that one. They might have licensed that one out too. But anyway, I don't know what they'll do with I don't know what they're doing and what they'll do with the Fear series. More than likely, they'll just put Fear in a box, and it'll never come out.
No.
As well as the Nemesis system. I think that system will never see the light of day again, unless someone makes a copy of it or something like that, right? Or something very similar to it in a different game.
Well, I mean, I'm not rich, so I can't, say this with certainty, but it makes no fucking sense to me to have something that can make you money and not use it.
Well, I mean, according to what they said, that the Batgirl movie or whatever is a direct to HBO Max movie is what they had wrote it for, and they said it's going to cost them more to release it than it would that they put into it. So, and that they would make from it because they have all the marketing and everything. And so they're saying it's going to cost them more money to put it out than they would make from it. So, and with them downsizing everything.
Yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to tax deduct that shit though.
I mean, it's a loss. I mean,
when Nick goes to the bathroom, wipes his ass, he gets to use those 4 squares as a tax deduction just because it's a loss.
He can if he does it right. If he does it right, he can.
Oh my God. Can you imagine that tax filing? Open up the envelope and there's big shitty paper in it.
With the hole in the middle where his finger went through. There were only 4 pieces.
It's got that one ply that's in your bottom of your bathroom.
So, oh my God. Don't remind me.
Yeah. So I don't think that what you said is necessarily true about holding on to IP, because anything I can find says you don't have to push anything as long as you own the copyright to it, and you don't have to release something to renew the copyright. But once the copyright's run out,
it depends on the purchase of it. That's why,
I mean,
It's like the Harvey
according to,
Korman.
like-
That's why they made that. If
well,
I'm going
that
off
could
of
be
old memory,
that could be a licensing thing. Like they licensed it from the owner, and they say you have to put
and
something out.
that's true
But
too. I could be
yeah.
confusing.
you could be
because
licensing with copyright. You know,
yeah, because the Harvey Korman Fantastic Four one is like the first time I've ever heard about studios being able to do that, and
well,
I don't know.
that's because who owns Harvey Birdman? Who owns that series?
Harvey Korman.
Yeah, Harvey Korman. Sorry,
the Fantastic. Well, Marvel owns them now.
Yeah.
But Marvel sold the rights to Harvey Korman, just like
They may have
Marvel
said them
sold the rights to
licensing.
Spider-Man to Sony and all that.
They may have sold them licensing and not necessarily.
And that's
rights.
true. That's true. I might be confusing it too. So, but either way, this company is shuttering studios and games that we're never going to see again. It's like Pat will never see half those games. Pat's never going to see Beyond Good and Evil 2.
No,
Pat's
that's not Warner Brothers, though.
I know, but I'm just saying, this is what happens in these situations. You'll never see Fear. He'll never see Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'll never see Final Fantasy 8 remastered.
We'll never see Black and White because Microsoft had to screw that up.
Yes, exactly.
Ubisoft will go out of business before long, chasing the whole live service thing.
Yeah.
And that's
They're
what happens.
Hang themselves with a blockchain.
I heard Multiverse did well though, and that's the problem. I don't. When they first canceled it, I was wondering what was when they first, because they basically pulled it back and said we're going to do some tweaks and we're going to work on re-release it. And I thought, why? It seems to be doing all right. It wasn't like a banger, but it's still, I think everybody was rating it like a 7 and higher, right?
I think it did, like a lot of them did. It came out good and it came out strong. And then, between content drops, I think they had the standard content, the player drop. So I don't know if it's because they just couldn't keep up with content quick enough to keep everybody happy. I don't know. It's not my type of game. Like I said, I played like 30 seconds of it with my son when he downloaded it because I am a dork. I love cartoons. So, if I got a chance to, teabag Velma, using Batman, I'm going to teabag Velma. And I love those old cartoons. So that's the only thing
that was the only thing that Player First had made, as far as I'm aware, was that, right?
I never even heard of them until this article. I didn't know who made Multiverse except for I knew it was a Warner Brother game.
Right. But I mean, I heard that it was doing all right. So, but then I think I'd read something where they didn't have enough content or something to keep it going. So I don't know. I don't know what's true anymore, or what what is real and what's not with some of these studios. But,
most of them are full of shit.
Right. But everybody chases this live service mentality, and then they do it until their studio starts to fail, and then collateral damage happens here. I mean, Warner Brothers has put out some garbage, but they put out some good stuff, especially Monolith, right?
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense sometimes, but they're gonna just, I don't know how many people they laid off or when they closed these studios or anything. So it just sucks all around that some of these IPs are owned by these larger corporations, and we'll never see a game in that. And just like Nick was saying, the Nemesis system was an awesome system, and I think there was rumors floating around that Wonder Woman could use the Nemesis system. And the next thing we know, we hear it's gone, right? Because that would be that's a concept that you could put a bunch into any open world game.
No.
Was the higher you become in rank, the more enemies are after you. And then if they defeat you, they go up in rank. If you defeat them, they die or go down in rank. It was a fun system. I loved the Middle Earth series where they did that. What was it? Shadow of War and the other one.
Shadows of Mordor and then
Shadows of War, I think is what the other one was.
What was the other one? Shadows of War.
I think that's what it was called. I'll have to check it out. Check out the name, but I think that was what it was. Shadows of War, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. At least we hear that they are one of Warner Brothers Studios is back to making another Batman game. So
just keep the live service aspects out of the damn thing.
Oh, they won't. There's going to be 20-something different Batman skins. Robin's going to come in 18, and
they had Robin's going to come in what?
18.
Android.
Yeah.
No. The original Batman the trilogy, they were dropping all those costumes. And guess what it cost you to play your ass off? That's it. It didn't cost you extra money. I think you could have bought them anyways, but they didn't need to do that, and they shouldn't be doing that, because if Rocksteady makes the game, they shouldn't be doing that, because Rocksteady makes such great Batman games. But it's not going to happen though. They're going to have some sort of loot box, live element, blockchain, STD shit going on with that game, just because if they think they can make the extra buck, they're going to do it. That's just sad, heartful, painful fact in the video game industry anymore. So, right. But hopefully these studios, these developers will land on their feet somewhere, maybe form a super studio called BW F Warner. That would be awesome. They can't say it, F Warner Brothers. So maybe that'd be cool.
Or maybe they call themselves the CW.
No, don't do that, because Pat hates the CW.
Yeah, I'll never play a CW game.
He wouldn't even watch a CW show.
They tween the hell out of everything they do. I don't want to watch a bunch of high school kids go through all that stuff. And everybody's a high schooler. Like they basically tweened everybody. If you were Batman in your 40s, they basically turned you into a 16-year-old Batman or a 14-year-old Batman, right?
But I'm Batman. Oh, my balls dropped.
Right. So.
All right. Well, you guys got anything else before we cried tears at the loss of some more studios? All right. Well, thanks for making it all the way to the end. I apologize for my voice. I feel like a bucket of ass cracks. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you for making it to the end. Give us your thoughts and opinions on this. What do you think Warner Brothers' next tactic is going to be? Do you think they're going to butcher the next Batman game from Rocksteady with some more live service crap? Let us know in the comments below what you think of our opinions on this as well. We appreciate respectful and cool feedback, even if it's a disagreement. It's all good with us. And until next time, see ya.